Today I'm going to show you how I made the Sai Ua Thai salami. My name's Greg. Welcome to the Gourmet Woodsman. This Thai Sai Ua salami is going to be an all-pork salami. And the pig that I'm using today is a Yorkshire-Hampshire Duroc cross. Not the biggest pig, but pretty tasty. Let's get on it. While my salami's fermenting, I'm going to mix up some of this mold. Mold 600, otherwise known as Penicillium nalgiovensis. So it's like about a quarter teaspoon and about a quarter cup of water. And I'm just going to let that wake up for a good 12 hours or so till the salami's ready. For my Sai Ua salami, I will be using FLC starter culture, which is a blend of these cultures. So I'm going to put about a quarter teaspoon into that. I'm going to add about a quarter cup of room temperature water. I'm just going to set that aside. I want to mix this up about at least a half hour before I want to use it to give that culture time to wake up. Next, I'm going to mix up the cure and spices for my Sai Ua salami, which is going to consist of salt, cure number 2. Next, I'm going to add some dextrose to feed the bacteria, and all the amounts will be in the description. Brown sugar, a little bit of white pepper, a little bit of granulated garlic, a little bit of onion powder. Oh shit. Some dried Thai chilies that I've ground up. Just a small amount of ginger powder. And a few dried chives. That's my dried spices and cure. Next, the shrimp paste. Get a good quality Thai one. Stuff smells like hell, but it really adds salty umami flavor that really you can't get with any other ingredient. Alright, gonna add a tiny bit of tamarind. Just a tiny bit of this tamarind concentrate. Couldn't get any fresh tamarind, but I think the concentrate's gonna mix in. It's gonna be easier to use. Next, green curry paste and fish sauce. Use a good Thai brand. Again, all the amounts will be in the description below. Dry components, my wet components, we're about ready to go. Next, I'm going to get my casing soaking. I'm using these 61 millimeter, they're protein-lined collagen casings. I usually get them pre-tied, but I see that I did not order them pre-tied this time. So a couple extra knots for me. Got them soaking in some room temperature water. You don't need that long, half hour or so is plenty. For my Sai Ua salami, I'll be using about 30% fat, which I'm going to grind on this coarse die. And then I got about 70% lean. Got my coarsely ground fat. So I did check the temperature of this meat and it is just below 30 degrees. And just below 30 degrees is perfect. Alright, put my back fat in there with it. And I'm just going to put this in the freezer for a couple minutes till I'm ready to, got one more sausage I'd like to grind while this is out. Put all my meat into this bowl. Could do this in a mixer, but honestly I don't feel like washing more dishes. And it's a little on the outside of what a KitchenAid can do. By the way, Sai Ua means stuffed intestine. So I'm calling this my Sai Ua salami. Okay, there's my spices that we measured up earlier. And then I got my wet ingredients that we measured up earlier. I'm wearing my nitrile gloves are over the cotton gloves because I don't want my hands to warm up this meat. Just gonna mix this together until it becomes sticky, and you'll see it'll almost get furry. Like it's already coming together into a ball. We're already kind of like where you'd want to be for burgers or maybe even past. I still got some troubles, but oh man, I'm smelling, the smell is amazing. Alright, now I'm going to add that starter culture that I woke up about a half hour ago. And you'll see that little bit of extra moisture, that quarter cup of water into this roughly 1,500 grams of beef is really going to loosen it up and make it come together a little faster. I don't know if you can see this, but it's starting to get just like this little bit furry almost. Starting to stick to my hand a tiny bit. So it's starting to get close. Which is good to know because we don't want to over mix it either. If you don't mix it enough, you won't get a good bind. But if you mix it too much, it really affect the texture. We're close. It's sticking, but I'd like it to stick a little better, and I'd like it to be just a little more furry looking. Pull out all that myosin and actin we can. That's what acts like the glue that holds it together. Oh yeah, now we're there. Sticking pretty good. Still coming off a tiny bit, but no, I think we're good. Give it 5 more mixes and we'll call it good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm liking that. That's great. Now I'm gonna take my sausage stuffer. I got a 5-pound stuffer. I just kind of like to push the air out. I think it's more effective than just trying to throw the meat in there. Although I could see if you had a bigger, deeper stuffer, you might want to just try to throw the meat in there to get rid of the air. I find that just pushing it in with my hand does a pretty good job. Oh man, it smells so good already. Add that ferment to it. This is going to be amazing. So I have trouble tying knots while wearing gloves. So I'm not going to wear gloves for this stage of the game. And because I did not get the pre-tied casings, I've got to tie both sides. No big deal though. Take this end, make a bunch of pleats like that. Tie a double knot here. All I'm going to do is I'm going to fold this over. I'm going to tie another double knot right here. Creates this little piece here to take the pressure. Now I'll go back around the other side and make another double knot. Alright, now I got my knot. Push it till the meat's all the way at the end. Oh, that came quick. Alright, now I'm going to just lube up my horn, make sure I get water on every bit of it. Well, I'm going to put my casing over this. Prick a couple holes in here with my sterilized sausage pricker. And we're just going to go. I want to get these pretty tight. These casings are pretty durable. They can blow out though. So I'm keeping enough pressure on the horn to keep air from going back up it. And I'm trying to fill it pretty darn tight. Now actually, what I want to do here, I'm going to make a bunch of small chubs this time. And actually drying time is much more about the girth than the length. So I'm going to tie another knot. What I'm going to do is try to pinch that meat so that there's no air left. So just squeeze a little bit of the meat back up. And then I know that I'm pretty darn tight. Gonna flip it over, tie a double knot on the other side, push that meat up a little ways. I'm gonna tie another knot just about 1 inch up so that these can be separated. And again, I'm gonna put some holes right here. Same thing, just tie a double knot, twist it around, tie a double knot. Then I'm gonna take my sausage pricker, look for any air holes. I'm gonna make holes anyway, and that'll be fine because the meat will just ooze out these holes and fill them. I'm going to set these aside. I'll bring you back. I'm going to finish the other one up. Got my tester, this little piece I pulled out of the hopper, and I'm going to use this little piece to test my pH. Put it in the same environment. It's about 75 degrees in my house right now, but it's going to cool down overnight. But if I leave my light on in the oven, it gets above 90, which would be okay, but I kind of want to just go for a slower ferment. If you can really see in there, it's definitely a lot firmer. It's changed color a little bit. It's definitely tightened up a lot in texture. Well, the pH meter tells me 4.8, 4.87. I think that's pretty good. So last couple steps, I'm going to take that mold 600 that I mixed up earlier. I'm just going to brush it on here real quick. Very last thing I'm going to do is weigh these and make a label. 645. So I want to lose 40% moisture, which means I'm going to keep 60% of the weight. Let's say 645 times 60%. 387 is my target. Now I'll make a tag for this with the project, the date, starting weight, and the target weight. And into my curing cabinet they go, which is 55 degrees Fahrenheit and averages 80% humidity. After just about 6 weeks, these Thai salamis have lost 40% of their weight, and they are ready to come out. Let's see what they're all about. Oh yeah, that's looking really nice to me. Let's see what she looks like inside. You can see it dried really pretty evenly. There's no noticeable drier areas around the outside. So that's a sign that my charcuterie cabinet has a decent moisture content going on. I like to equalize things for at least half the time that it took to dry. So if this took 40 days, I'm going to equalize it for at least 20 days. 40 days is even better. That is if I can equalize it before I eat it all. Man, this smells so good if you like Thai food. It's amazing that this doesn't have any citrus in it because it has a very citrusy taste to it, which has given me a really good idea about a larb salami. I was thinking of a larb sausage, but the ferment can kind of replace that lime juice part of it. It really does have like a lime juice tang to it, even though there's no citrus at all in here. This is giving me some really good ideas. Definitely not a typical salami, but if you like Thai food and you like salami, hey, why not? That's all I got for you today. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you like my content, please subscribe. Put some love into the food you make. Peace. This salami is so unique.